Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is James here, and in this video I just want to do a quick market update. So today is July 14th, a little after 8 o'clock in the morning my time. And yesterday I posted this chart. This was a potential head and shoulders. And now I'm looking at this beautiful Bitcoin chart. And I say beautiful because, of course, I've been calling for a correction for several weeks now. And it looks like our head and shoulders is fully confirmed, meaning we actually have a 4-hour candle that has closed beneath the neckline. Now, if you are new to trading or if you don't know much about head and shoulders, it's a very basic pattern. You have a shoulder, a head, a shoulder, and the way the breakout works is you have a price target equal to the height of your pattern. So from the top of the head to the neckline, and in this case that was between $21 and $2,200, depending on whether you count the wicks or not. I do. And if we draw that down, we just copy that price range and paste it over here. You can see that puts our target down right around 88.72. So the next thing I do when I'm trading is I go to look, does that level make sense? Is there something in that area that would stop the price from falling further? And in this case, if we go over, we can see that actually was a level of resistance over here back on June 15th, and also acted as support on a couple different occasions on June 16th. So it is a legitimate level. Now, does that mean it will definitely stop there? Of course not. Does it mean it will definitely get there? Of course not. But here's my opinion on this. My opinion has been for a long time that this market needed to correct. And I thought this entire time, the most likely scenario would be that we would go down to the 61.8 fib, which is around $7,200 at this point. A lot of people told me I was nuts, and that's neither here or there, but I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to explain why I think this is going to happen. If we draw the fibs in this thing, like I said, it should be around $7,200 last I looked. All right, 72.31. We've talked about moving averages in the past, so I'm going to draw a moving average real quick. And in the case of Bitcoin, some people like 21. A friend of mine actually showed me the 19-week moving average. It seems to be a little bit more accurate. When we look at, if I go back and look at years and years of history, it seems to be the more important line in the sand. So that's actually sitting down around 71.32 right now. Our fib is at 72.31. So people are saying, how in the hell are we going to get from way up here to way down here? Well, we have to look at market psychology, okay? The reality is a lot of people are banking on the fact that this is never going below $10,000 again. I've seen people talking about this on Twitter. I've seen people talking about it on Facebook. And first off, that's totally possible. Anything is possible. But if I had to put odds, I'd say they're 95% chance they're wrong. Okay. And we're already down to 10,748 right now. Again, markets don't move in straight lines, so it's very possible that we will get a bounce, maybe even get a bounce to test this neckline all over again. But assuming this thing continues to correct, like I think it will, I think we are going to go underneath 10 grand. And then a couple of other things come into play. This entire pattern is actually a giant double top. Okay? And double tops are a very bearish signal, even on a small time frame. When you start talking about a daily time frame, that's super bearish, okay? And the way they work, just like a head and shoulders, they have a neckline. So in this case, this is our neckline right here. If you're counting closes, if you're counting tails, the neckline will be way down here. Most people are not going to count these tails, okay? And if you look, this neckline, it actually acted as support. You can see right here that this candle came down and it literally bounced off of that support. It failed to confirm that double top. So right now we don't know what's going to happen, but assuming that price does come down and break through that neck, a lot of big traders are going to be watching for that signal. And when that happens, a lot of traders are going to exit their positions or open short positions. All right, so we're going to get a sell-off. That sell-off is going to push that price down, or it's likely going to push that price down. Our next level of support, really, the 10.3 showed some support. Let me turn these. I wish I could turn the indicators off but still be able to draw lines. But anyway, 10.3 acted as support a little bit on the monthly. See right here, this was 10.3. So we could see some slowing down in that area. I don't think so. When we look at the weekly, the next level is down around 9 grand. What does 9 grand line up with? Again, it lines up with our target from the Head and Shoulders. Here's the problem if you're a bull. The same FOMO that pushed the price up once we broke 10,000, the same FOMO that shoved us up, over a couple of days really to that almost $14,000. Well, the reverse is going to happen. When we go sub 10K, panic is going to kick in. And if you know anything about human psychology, fear is a much stronger motivator than greed. Greed is strong, no doubt about it. That's how we got up so far so fast. We broke 10,000 and people got greedy and started talking about paradigm shifts and this time is different, all the same bullshit they always talk about, right? And people started buying the FOMO and we got skyrocketed up to almost 14 grand. Just wait and see what happens when we go back under 10 grand, especially those people that just bought at 13 and 14,000. If we break 10,000, people are going to start to panic. And fear is going to cause a huge chain reaction. Again, that's my opinion. That's what I predict is going to happen. I don't know that for a fact. But I think once we go under 10, I think things are going to move fairly quickly. I think we'll get down. We'll hit our Head and Shoulders target of around 8,800 to 9,000. I think we're going to continue sliding through there. I think we're going to go down and fill the CME gap, which is down around 8,500. And at that point, if you're doing the math, that means Bitcoin is going to be down from its high of about 38%. Okay, so I think at that point, one of two things happens. Either a lot of buyers come in and say, you know what, we filled the gap and we start heading back north. That would be one possibility, right? That would be about a 50% retracement. 50% fib is right around $8,500. Okay, I could see that. I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but I could see it. There have been cases in the past in Bitcoin's history where it only retraced to the 50 fib before moving up and continuing its journey toward a new high. I think it's much more likely that the panic is just going to get worse and worse and worse. Most people, they're terrible at this stuff. They're terrible at technical analysis. And they don't even know what a CME gap is, much less why it would be bullish for it to fill. In their mind, we're going down. That's a bad thing. They don't understand that it's not a bad thing. It's actually necessary. We need to go down so we can go up, right? I think it's much more likely that level of support gives way. And once that level of support gives way, again, it's just a quick hop and a skip, and suddenly we're back down at $7,200 again. And then, really, at that point, I think it's anybody's guess whether that's the actual stop. The gold ratio is a pretty good reload zone. And when I say pretty good, I mean it's a pretty good long-term reload. In most cases, it's not guaranteed. But you got to remember, I've been talking about this for a month now, and I know I sound like a broken record, but we still have these areas down here that have not been retested, okay, all the way down around the 4,300, 4,200 area, and we still have these areas right through here that have not been retested. So it just depends on how bad that panic is. If that panic is bad enough, I could totally see that shoving that price all the way down into either one of these gaps, right? Could totally see that. And then again, worst case scenario, like I've talked about in the past, or best case, depending on your point of view, is we would go down and actually make a whole new low, lower than December lows. And you can look at some fractals and things that actually do support those theories going down to the $1,300 to $2,300 area. I think it's unlikely. It just depends how bad the panic is, though. And people, I know some people are saying, "Oh, this time is different." Well, they're partially right. This time is different. It's different in the fact that we just came off of a massive bear market. We just came off of a bear market where people lost, 84% of their money. Okay, and so other corrections, like in 2017, where we had corrections and we only went down to the 50 fib, or we only went down to the 61.8. You have to remember that we were in a bull market. We just went skyrocketing up, and everybody had a lot of faith, right? A lot of people had only been in the market for a short period of time. They never experienced a bear market. They didn't have any fear in the back of their mind, okay? The difference is this time is a lot of people who were riding this rally also rode the bear market, okay? So they're still down. They didn't break even. They didn't get out of their investments up here. A lot of them bought at 16, 17, 18, 20,000. So if this thing starts going down hard and fast, they're going to have flashbacks to 2018. And I think that it's entirely possible that the level of panic is going to be a lot greater than even I expect. So the only thing I'm telling you is buckle up. It's going to be a hell of a ride, right? This thing could stop it could stop any time, obviously, but realistically, in my mind, we could see a low of 8,500. We could see a low of 7,200. We could see a low of 5,500. We could see a low of 4,300, or we could see a low of 1,300. Right? Those are all legitimate levels with solid technical analysis that make them possibilities. They're not guesses. Okay, they're all backed up by actual charting. So at this point, I'm just waiting. I've got to see how it plays. I can't predict the future and say this is exactly where I'm going to buy it, but I'm watching eagerly to find out where I want to put my own money at for my HODL coins, meaning coins that I buy to hold. Okay. As far as trading, you can trade every single day. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. Right? I can trade right now. I can just zoom into a 5-minute chart and look, boom, boom, right? Double bottom. And that right there was almost 2%, right? And you might say, oh yeah, but you didn't get that. Actually, I did. You can day trade these things. I actually bought at 10,612 right there on this tail, and I actually sold at 10,780. Excuse me, 10,760 right there. It was like a 10-minute trade. I actually posted it inside my Facebook group. In fact, right there. Bought 10,612, and then 3 minutes later sold half the position for 10,769, and a couple minutes after that sold the rest for 10,750. Right. So as far as trading goes, you can trade every day. It literally doesn't matter what the market's doing for a day trader. But big picture, investment wise, those are the levels I'm watching. That 8,500, 7,200, 5,500, 4,200, and of course, when things are still looking nasty, I'll start looking at that 1,300 to 2,300 area. I think in the case of that lowest one, again, I don't think it's the most likely, so I'm not trying to scare you. I think if it does happen, I think it would be a tail. I don't think it would be a solid close where we close down at $2,000. I think we might get a huge tail that, slid down maybe $1,000, $1,500 tail and then popped right back up. So we will see. Short term though, this is the picture. This is a 4-hour chart. So like I said, our 4-hour target doesn't mean it's going to happen in 4 hours, but based on the 4-hour chart, our target right now is down around $8,800 to $9,000. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember, I am literally some guy sitting in a spare bedroom. I am not a financial advisor, and you should always do your own due diligence and seek out professional financial advice before making any type of investment in cryptocurrency. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please be sure and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. If you're watching on Facebook, please be sure and give it a like. Also, be sure and check the description. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on TradingView. And of course, you can join the Facebook group if you're not already a member. All right, this is James. Have a wonderful day. It is Sunday, so I'm going to probably head off to bed here in just a few minutes. Been up all night trading, and trade safe. Make sure you got your stops set, and have fun.